Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello, sir.
Hello, PJ.
Getting near the end of the week, Chris.
It's so funny because yesterday felt like a Monday, of course, right?
Yeah, we're already at the end of the week.
Today feels like a Tuesday and it's Thursday, so it's gonna, you're right, the week is going fast. How about you guys?
A lot of things are going fast. Tundra's going fast. BelAir is going fast.
Yeah, NHRA. Before you know it, Cadillac will be ending. 57 Chevy will be ending. Today we're going to be talking about a popular question out there. How do you tell a 210 from a BelAir? And if this was a stock restored BelAir, and then there'd be external cues. However, and let's talk about this. So a BelAir had gold trim. So this would be gold, and this would be gold. But that's only if it was stock. We're talking about how it was produced, how it came off the factory line. Once you tell me that the vehicle is a resto mod, then it's builder's option, right?
Oh, so that's why someone would say they're not sure if it's a BelAir.
Right, because they're looking for the gold trim, and there is no gold trim on this because when they did the resto mod, they decided not to put the gold trim on it.
So it doesn't change it from being a BelAir.
It doesn't change it from being a BelAir at all. Not at all.
What other cues would someone find?
Well, you got to look back here. Of course, you see BelAir right here, right? But listen, guys can take a 210 and these parts are reproduced. You can make a 210 look like a BelAir. The other thing on the BelAirs might only be, and someone look this up for me, it might only be on the non-post coupes. These flip up and down, right? Remember? But I don't think they flipped up and down on the hardtops, on the post. Now, only about 10% of the two-door BelAirs made in 1957 were post coupes. Very rare and tough to find today. So if you had, they used to call them a regular two-door coupe, you'd get that flip-up piece right there. So then, and then in the back, come on, PJ.
Is this a common color? Calvin says he loves the color.
Inca silver, it is. It's a factory color or a variation. That, of course, would be gold. And then back here, this would be gold. So what happens is people only look at down here, and they say, oh, it's not gold, it's not really a BelAir. There's one surefire way to know whether something is a BelAir. PJ, follow me. Oh, by the way, while we're back here, I always love showing this off.
Yeah, the filler cap, right?
That's right, the Tesla cap, right?
All those years ago.
Okay, now let's see, way back in 1957, they weren't putting VINs on the dash, they were putting them on the pillar. So what do you see right there? Do you see the letter C? Not the C in Chevrolet, but in the VIN itself.
Yep,
do you see a V and a C?
I see a C.
You see a C. Okay. C means BelAir.
Ah.
B, even though it's B BelAir, C BelAir, B 210.
Ah.
So that's how you tell. You check the VIN on the pillar. It has a C in there, then you know that it was a BelAir from the factory.
Rex says, I'd never get tired of polishing that chrome.
Well, there you go. A lot of chrome on the 57, and I'll tell you, man, it's such a shame because I love chrome on a vehicle, but that whole art of chrome has gone away in the modern day. And if you guys have ever gone out and tried to get a quote on getting some chrome, show quality plated or triple chromed, as they say, it is expensive anymore.
Laurie says, resto mods rule, best of both worlds, looks classic, kick-ass, but reliable to drive. And oh, the AC. Aha.
We'll talk about the AC. Let's pop that hood.
That's right. Michael says resto mod specs.
Yeah.
So let's take a look and see what we got going on. That's a big, huge.
No, well, there's a V8. So there's the modern Chevy V8 engine on there. Someone asked me if it had headers the other day, and no, it's got the ram horn factory exhaust manifolds on there. So you can see this very modern AC setup right here on the front of the 350. And it means that you can not only look cool, you can be cool in comfort. And then that's a popular thing. When we give away a stock restored car, very often it did not come from the factory with AC. It was a very expensive option back in the day. And we wouldn't add it on if it didn't have it originally. If it came to us with AC, great. But on a resto mod, suddenly you can add AC into the equation. And you can have all these comforts that would have been super expensive and not too darn reliable buying new back in 1957. PJ.
Michael says, I think that would cause the traffic jams riding around this beautiful car in South Beach. And I'll tell you what, if you're in the heat,
well,
it's good to have the AC.
We're talking South Beach, Miami. It's a traffic jam no matter what you're riding. But this would definitely cause a big traffic jam. People checking it out over there next to that beautiful water down there in Miami. So AC is set up right here, and we're going to show you briefly how that's installed on the inside into the cabin. Before I do that, let me point out that just adding AC to an engine cabin, into an engine compartment, into your cabin, doesn't make a resto mod. Unless you're being really strict, because resto mod means restored and modified, right? So how many modifications does it take to be a resto mod? Well, I can tell you this. By the time you drop a new Chevy 350 in there with an Edelbrock carb and intake, an AC system, and you drop a nice 5-speed overdrive in the cabin to shift gears, by that point you've got a resto mod going on, right? I don't think just throwing new wheels and tires makes a resto mod, but you know, opinions may vary.
Michael says, transmission type, 4-wheel disc brakes? Question
Yeah,
mark?
absolutely. Come on in here and take a look down here. You can see them right there, those front discs. And let's go take on the back. Nice rotors there as well. We're going to see them in the back. I forget if it's 4-wheel in the back. I don't see any darn calipers.
I don't either.
Yeah, there you go. So it's disc in the front, drum in the rear. And someone asked me the other day, and I mentioned in one of our earlier videos, it does have a stock rear end assembly in it. I don't know if they've changed out the internals. Let's take a look inside, PJ.
I'll sneak in over here because there's lots of stuff to show you here. This bench seat.
I love that.
Love this bench seat.
You know, the other thing is, we're talking about 210s and BelAirs. The interiors were different in the 210s and the BelAir. The BelAir, of course, had the more upscale interior and had the BelAir, that would have been a gold call out right there on the dash. But what's really cool here is the integration of this AC unit into the cabin to really make it look factory style. So you'll see the knobs right here. You've got your, I love it, this is so old school, that kind of push button all the way down there. You've got your heat here, you've got your cool here, you've got your fan here. And then raise your hand if you ever got in a car when you were young and there was a Sears Mark IV aftermarket air conditioner hanging down there and plastic seats, plastic covers on the seat. Why are you laughing?
It sounds like something I've been in before, yeah.
Have you been in one of these?
Yeah, that is funny.
Reminds me back in the day at Great Aunt Cleopatra's classic car. So very nice integration of the AC in here. Other thing you could tell the difference if it was stock restored. The BelAir had a different center cap. And this, of course, is a modern tilt column and a modern steering wheel. See, you know, they didn't have it quite that nice back in the 50s. So this is integrated. Over here, you've got those super easy to read odometer gauges. Again, at what point does it become a resto mod? You start adding up all of these wonderful features that it did not come with originally, and you know you've got a resto mod. So there's a brief overview of, go ahead, PJ.
Roger says that would have been a knee knocker AC.
That's exactly what they called it back in the day, a knee knocker AC. Sears Mark IV. They must have sold millions of those things, and they sat right over here on top of the hump, right?
Rex says, I remember the plastic seat covers in the 90-degree days. Larry says, in a points-rated car show, usually any modifications classified it as a resto mod. Well, I guess. Depending on how many points. Guess how many points you'd get, I guess, right?
So, if you just change the wheels, what?
I guess. Louis says, what would this horsepower be? What's the horsepower on that?
About 400.
About 400?
Yeah. Nice small block Chevy there. And we're not going to fire it up today. I'll make sure maybe next Friday we can fire it up.
Because tomorrow is Fire It Up Friday.
Fire it up Friday. Let me get out of the car. Huh?
All right, let's get you out of here, Chris. And we're getting really close to the Tundra being finished.
Yeah, getting close to the Tundra. So we're going to fire up the Tundra tomorrow for you guys and let you know that it's really got a nice sound to it for what it is. And tons of horsepower, tons of torque with that V6 hybrid engine. PJ, let's wrap it up for today,
Absolutely.
shall we?
I mean, you've got, what, 7 days left on the Tundra?
And 19 days left on the 72 Chevelle.
That's right.
So get your entries at dreamgiveaway.com. Use promo code YouTube if you're watching us on YouTube. Use promo code Facebook if you're watching us on Facebook. And we will see you guys tomorrow with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes like this 57 BelAir Resto Mod.
True BelAir.
True BelAir. Very good, PJ. Touche, PJ. It only happens here, live in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage.
See you next time, everyone.